Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here and welcome to Jambareeqi Cinema, the podcast show in which I review films that have hit UK theatres. Before I begin though, I'd like to point out that I'm currently raising funds for my unfinished puppet film on Kickstarter. The Magic Socks is a fantasy short inspired by the work of Jim Henson and Studio Ghibli. It would mean the world to me if you could back this dream project of mine. All donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you. Okay, time to talk about Pixar's Onward. Set in a modern fairy tale world where magic and quests are a thing of the past, Onward centers on a teenage boy called Ian who is too nervous to make friends or accomplish his goals. Plus, he misses the father he never had because he passed away before he was born. One day though, Ian and his brother Barley are gifted with a phoenix gemstone and a wizard's staff, along with instructions for a spell that could bring their dad back to life for one day. Barley, who has a huge interest and knowledge regarding magic lore, thanks to his obsession with a historically inspired board game, is eager to try this resurrection spell, but keeps failing. Luckily, Ian turns out to have a gift for magic, and he successfully triggers the spell, but he fails to complete it, leaving only their dad's bottom half to come back. In order to finish the spell, the brothers have to locate a new phoenix gem. So they turn to the legendary Manticleer, who now runs a family tavern, and the boys rely on a children's activity sheet to find a clue. In all honesty, I can't say that this film breaks new grounds or defies expectations. As a Pixar movie, it's yet another comedy adventure about the mismatched pairing of a neurotic realist and an optimistic idealist, and how one has to trust the other in order to reach their goal. A formula that Pixar very rarely leaves. As a road trip film, it checks all the cliches that come with the genre's baggage. Getting pulled over by the cops and having to trick them, knocking a biker gang's bikes over and being chased down by them, trying to get gas in the middle of nowhere, etc, etc. However, it's the modern fairy tale setting that makes the adventure special. Having a road trip that implements the novelty of magic is its unique twist. Seeing how each spell brings these brothers together, helps them solve predicaments, and creates their own obstacles, somewhat sets the movie apart from other car ride adventure movies, despite how it ticks off a lot of the cliches at the same time. The idea that Ian and Barley's dad is just a pair of legs and feet might sound silly, and is often played for laughs, but I love how the film brings personality to the bottom half of her body. From the way their dad uses his feet to recognize his sons, to the little nuances that resemble a middle-aged man. I also like how Ian learning to become a magician reflects his own character journey of finding confidence in himself, all with the support of Barley. Ian starts off as a teenager who is afraid of everything and has no belief in himself. But it's his brother's help and what these spells require of him that pushes him to find the strength he has. While the movie is very much centered on two brothers trying to resurrect their dad, the real heart of the narrative is Ian and Barley's bond. As the movie goes on, there's more to Barley's character than we initially thought, a deeper layer to his personality and motives that we gain appreciation for, and Ian learns to share that same admiration. Barley could have come across as an annoying nerd stereotype, but the film actually empowers his geeky love for magic, and uses his obsessive knowledge to the adventure's advantage. It's very refreshing to see this kind of character in a more dignified light. From personal experience, I can say that when brothers become teenagers, the relationship can be challenged and tested. Sometimes they even drift apart. So it's great that this film shows a healthy bond between the teen brothers, in which their sibling love is depicted as something wonderful and beneficial. But the movie is also about facing loss. Both brothers have their own reasons for wanting to see their dad again. Ian never met their dad, so he's always been grieving for the father who was never there from the beginning. While Barley met his dad as a toddler, but didn't get to say goodbye when he died. Both are understandable reasons, but eventually they have to ask who needs to see their dad the most. This road trip isn't just about the brothers and their dad though, we do also follow their mother, who bands together with the Manticleer to deliver a sword to the teenage boys. Mum characters in these kinds of stories usually stay home and worry, but not this parent. Ian and Barley's mother is a tough, no-nonsense woman who is willing to take action, even if it means breaking the rules. It's her love for her children that pushes her to become more than who she is, and someone who is worthy of fighting alongside the Manticleer. Now, some might argue that there's no point for a lot of these characters to be cyclopses, elves, orcs, or whatever kind of fairy tale creature, because they act just like us and their world quite resembles our own. But I think that the point is that even strange fantasy universes can surrender to Industrial Revolution and become just as suburban as us. It's the brothers that inspired these fairy tale characters to embrace their heritage, see the potential of magic's legacy in society, and learn how changing times don't mean completely abandoning old traditions or identities. To conclude, I can't say that Onward breaks the bar for Pixar. They are very much in their comfort zone here, but I did quite enjoy the film and look forward to watching it again in the future. It's not their best work, but it's still a really good effort, with a valuable message about brotherly love and putting trust in someone who might seem a little eccentric about their ideas. I've been Jambareeqi and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, then feel free to like, subscribe and share. Cheerio, folks!